It may be over already.
Will JJ be able to go tonight?
Yes, he had 2 really good days of practice. Probably did more than we thought. Going into practice, they said he would only go about half, and he went through, the entire session. And they both were very competitive sessions, so that was good for him.
Doc, at this point of the preseason, is there anything specific you're going to work on tonight?
Not really. I mean, and we still have guys that we're just getting in. Reggie Bullock will play tonight as well. So just still continuity. I think continuity is something you work on throughout the season. But the first, half of the season, 25 games, I think you hope it just keeps getting better and better and better. And you hope you can win while it's getting better.
Given how much you said JJ participated in practice, what are some of the things you're looking to see from him?
Just what he gives us, he's such a pro, so he's gonna give you automatic energy. I mean, no one wants to guard him because he never stops moving. And that in itself is an offense for us at times. So I'm really curious just to see how that looks. He's smaller, so defensively, I'm curious to see how that looks. We'll see. I like it. I like him on the floor. It looks good.
Did Matt practice some yesterday? And how did he come out?
Not enough to call it a practice. He did, like today even, he did all the skeleton stuff, but nothing with any, like, defense or live action. So he really hasn't gone into competition at all. We're hoping tomorrow. And if not tomorrow, then we'll wait until, the 3 days we have before first game.
Because Matt isn't playing, how are you trying to use Jared, not to kind of wear him out?
Probably I've used him too much, I think Jared's conditioning, he wants to improve it. And so that in some ways that's helped him, that he's played all these minutes. But that's way too many minutes for Jared, and we know that.
In Las Vegas the other day, you were talking about confidence, I think, as it relates to Collison. Can you, as a coach, how do you wouldn't think NBA players would have issues with confidence, but can you just speak to a little bit, as a coach, how you try to instill that, what you can do?
Well, you'd be surprised how many don't, actually. I've always been surprised by that. Even the great ones, you're surprised at times how many times you have to tell them, not the great ones, how many times you have to tell them how good they are or whatever. But in some of the younger guys, especially in Collison's case, it's just to remind them, and I just think when when players believe, the coach believes in them, and when you come to a agreement on what your shot is, if you know what I'm saying, then a coach should never have a problem when he takes that shot and misses it. I guess is the best way to instill confidence. I think the first part is figuring out everyone's game, and then once you figured it out and we've all agreed on it, and then you allow them to play their game, and you try never to get in the way of that. And that's what I try to do. I encourage him to be aggressive. I encourage him, if he can get the ball and go coast to coast, that's part of his gifts that he should use. And then when he doesn't have that, then run the team. And so that's what he's doing a pretty good job of.
When you played, did your confidence go up and down?
Oh yeah. That's why I was just average. Really. If I missed 2 shots, I probably wasn't taking the third in a while. Yet the guy next to me, Dominique, he can miss 5 in a row, and he's thinking the odds have increased now that he's going to make the next 6. That's what shooters do. And, I don't think I was ever one of those. But I do think confidence has a lot to do with it.
Now, how is it possible, though, that a guy could be at this level and still his confidence can go?
Oh, it's possible. It's possible in all fields, it would be my guess. It's just part of life. It's the great ones are the ones who, have the one thing I remember going in my rookie year, I was playing in back then you could play in these organized pickup games and make people pay, and you can actually put some money in your pocket, with that 60 grand that I made my rookie year. I needed it, but it was in Lansing, Michigan, and I asked Magic, of all people, what do I have to do to be successful? And he said, you have to be confident. And that was the only thing he said. He said, you have to play with confidence. And it's a fact, but it's hard. You know, it's hard when your minutes are up and down, when you are, especially when you're a non-starter. Sometimes you get taken out, not because you're not playing well, but because your unit's not playing well, and your mind gets to working. So it's hard. You know, confidence is a hard thing.
Where's Blake's confidence at?
It's good. It's really good. He has great confidence in his shot, and that's what we want him to have confidence in. I have probably more confidence than him in his playmaking. I think he's a terrific playmaker with the ball. I mean, I think after Chris, he may be our second best, you know, playmaker passer, and we want to play through him in that way as well. So we're going to lean on him a lot offensively and defensively, but offensively we're going to lean on Blake a lot, not just to score. And I think that's where the young player, you know, they think when you call their number, they think that means it's their shot, and we're trying to get them to understand it's the team shot is your play. And if you can get a shot out of it, great, but it's not your shot, and we want you to make plays. And I really want Blake to score a lot and make plays.
Doc, we talked about this the other day, kind of the size of your staff and the dream you have to have that 1-to-1 ratio someday.
Yeah.
How much easier does it make it for you to be able to delegate things to?
Well, it's easier because a lot of the guys I know, you know, my staff is my staff, obviously. You know, I get it from football. Every time I go to a football game, you know, you're thinking, just how many coaches are out there? You know, sometimes I don't know if it's the coaches that are stretching in football or the players. There's so many guys. But everything we learn about, you know, school, you know, is that the shorter the ratio, the more learning the students learn. And so I feel the same way in basketball. I don't really mean 12, because then I'd have to coach 12 coaches, and I'll pass on that. They're harder to coach than the players.
But you're almost there, though. I mean,
Yeah, we're working that way. Yeah, thank you.
We talked about this also, that the 3-2-2 format.
Say that fast if you can.
So it's been changed.
I really don't. What did you say? Can you say that again? I know.
2-3, you know.
No.
But it's changed now.
Yeah, it's good. I think it's great. You know, for a lot of reasons, I think it's good. I think it's good. Number one, we play one format all through the playoffs, and then all of a sudden in the finals you play a different format. I've never figured that part out. And then the second part is, I just think if you're in the finals, you're playing against another really good basketball team, the chances of you beating anybody 3 times in a row is extremely hard to do. And then also, if you have a 3-2 lead and you're the visiting or the team without home court, game 6 should be at home, not game 6 and 7 being on the road. I've always thought that as well. So those are the 3 things that I like that has changed, and it'll be interesting how it goes. For the travel, it's harder, clearly.
It changed in a lot of ways, though, because the travel between Boston and LA during those series.
Yeah, and that's the only teams that there were, you know, or you can substitute Philly.
Right.
But in the West, it was LA against Philly, then it was LA against Boston. You know, obviously that's changed now over the years, and travel is better, I guess. It's definitely better for us. I can tell you that. You guys on charter?
It's called United Airlines.
Come on, man.
Doc, back to the confidence thing. So, on these teams, they're throwing young guys out there to the wolves a little bit.
Good.
You know, how does that impact players' confidence?
Playing time helps. You know, it really does. I think playing time has always helped confidence. And obviously, if you're struggling, you have a better chance of getting out of it. You know, but it's an emotional. You know, listen, it's just like life. We're not all confident every day. And just things go well for you sometimes. Things don't. You know, I use, and I hate to use this, but I use 2008 and 2010. What do I think about the most? I think about 2010. I should think about 2008. It's just the way we are made, and that's the same way in the season if you use it as a single game.
Looking back at your playing career, there were times.
Please, do we have to?
Yeah, but there were times where suddenly your role with the basketball, greatly, even as a point guard, scoring greatly increased.
Yes.
Gordon Hayward's going from kind of being a complimentary
We have
player.
a man crush on that guy. He's really good. But continue.
What's the task that he has in hand, having the ball in his hand, you know?
It's hard from that position. You know, it's easier when you're at the point guard, obviously, but Gordon is asked, he's going to be asked to do a lot, and that's hard. I don't think, you know, in Orlando I had Tracy McGrady, and I just always feel bad for him because, you know, Grant was hurt, and when you're the guy and you're the only guy for a while, you know, there's other guys, but I'm talking, they're going to make him the superstar. That's a hard job. And Gordon will find that out this year. But he's terrific. He's a tough kid, can shoot the ball. They're going to ask him to do a lot, score and facilitate, and that's a hard position from any spot, but especially when you're not in the point guard spot.
Doc, a lot has been made about the covering up of the banners here. Now that you've had some time to digest it, where did the idea originally come from, and what's been most of the feedback you've received personally?
I've pretty much had the gamut of feedback, I can tell you that, mostly positive. Even, you know, a lot of Laker fans. I remember the other day I was in the drugstore and the Laker fans said, "I can't believe you covered up our banners," but I was always wondering why you hadn't done it in, you know, in the past. You know, it's the Clipper court, and that's the way we feel. Like it's, you know, and again, it's not a disrespectful thing at all. It's not intended that way, you know, at all. It's more that when we play in our game, it should be about us and only us. You know, I went to Marquette University. When you play the Bucks, you don't see my banner, my retired jersey. They retired my jersey. That's a good way of putting that in. You don't see my retired jersey hanging in those games. You know, they roll them up. Not out of disrespect, because it's the Bucks arena that night, and that's just how we feel. So that's basically what I've gotten. I've gotten some, but nothing real bad.
And where did it come from? What initially sparked the idea for you?
For me, last year when the Clippers were blowing us out, honestly, I was sitting there with Eddie Lassert, our trainer in Boston, and he taps me on the leg and says, "Look at that." And I'm like, I wanted to look at anything at that point. We were literally down 30 points, and I look up, and you see all the banners. He said, "Man, I would never have that." And this is what Eddie said. And I thought, wow, he's right. So again, the Lakers can blame a Boston guy. But I have a feeling, honestly, it started long before that. I think the thought was already there. And just bringing it up, I think everybody agreed.
It seems like you guys made a concerted effort to involve DeAndre and all the big three stuff that you've been doing. Does that speak at all to his confidence level and where you need it to be?
Yeah, I guess. He's been really good. So, you know, this summer, just looking at it, I just felt like he had to be, honestly, for us to be what we want to be. So, and he's done it. You know, he's really played terrific basketball, and his defense has just been, it's been unbelievable. And his talk, you know, you guys can't hear his talk, obviously, but I can. And his talk on the floor, it's been just terrific, way ahead of, you know, I just didn't know DeAndre, so I didn't know if he could or would do that, and he's been off the charts. So, yeah. Thank you, everyone. Is it 5-0, 4-0, 3-0? Yeah. Napoli again.
Hang on a second.
Well, I want the rest of it. Yeah.